I think many folks in just the common everyday drudgery of life will look at the concept of devotion and spiritual disciplines, right? And practicing the presence of Jesus and feel like there's a dullness, like there's a coldness and a drabness and an inability to get as enthused about it, for lack of a better word, as you sound. What would you say to someone who thinks about doing daily reflections about Christ and his presence and goes, it just feels so distant, so cold. How do I get that joy?
Well, you certainly can't perform your devotions and your spiritual disciplines in a vacuum. Yes, you practice them, you memorize scripture, you read, your daily Bible reading plan. I mean, you do all those things, you pray, but you cannot do that in a vacuum. You got to go out and find somebody who needs you and
Mm,
needs Jesus. That is when that is when our salvation becomes palatable.
mm,
When we hook our spiritual veins up to somebody else in need and pour God's life into them. It's a transformation happens to us when we give to another. I mean, it's the principle of Luke chapter 6. I think it's verse 38. Given it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken
right.
together, and running over, it will be poured in your lap. That's not just about money. I mean, read the few verses before it, and you'll get the context. It's about living and give, and it'll be given back to you. And so, if we start feeling isolated, if we're feeling a little distant and dry, as though we're practicing our spiritual disciplines, quiet times in a vacuum, oh, please go find somebody who's suffering
Mm,
and invest in them. It'll be sacrificial. It'll cost you your time and your energy, but normal Christian service always is sacrificial. Always. And if it's not, then it's not, it doesn't have Christ at the center. Your
mm,
service should be sacrificial as Christ was. And that will engage you with the Spirit of the living God as He pours His life through you and enacts change. I have said to people with disabilities who are depressed, get up out of bed if you can and go out and find somebody who's hurting worse than you are, or quadriplegic even.
mm,
Get on your computer and join a support group where there are some people there who need prayer, and you start praying for them. I mean, find a way to invest in others will enliven and animate your
mm.
relationship with Christ.